What's up, guys? Thass here. Today we're gonna go over my 20 the other side run. It was a really good run, really clean run, and I just kind of want to go over my route and the significance of making routes for your specific group. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay. So we're about to start here. Just kind of doing a ready check and making sure everybody's good to go. Everybody understands the route. And we'll get into it. This is a really fun dungeon, especially this week. Bursting's kind of aids, just due to the fact that, yeah, auto-milled room, you want to pull really big. But if you have a coordinated group and you can stop DPS and not trickle, then it's just a really good dungeon this week. Okay, so this is going to be your standard first pull. You're just going to do a big lust pull. Trying to get some aggro on these before I go. I'll always brand the Warlord because he's a beast. And this is something that I personally need to work on. I did have my boomy trees at the start, and I meta'd, and I failed dev. You definitely don't want to overlap those. You want to hit trees first, and then you fail dev once trees is done. As you see here, I have to do some kiting. If I would have failed dev, I could have sat in patches a little longer. Just a little personal play cleanup. So we have 4 stacks here. I'm calling for a stop DPS, just so we don't roll. And then this is something that you always want to do as a tank. As soon as one is dead, you need to start moving towards your next pack. You want to constantly, as soon as you have either 1 or 2 mobs left, you want to keep it moving. You want to keep it rolling. So we're going on to the next pack. One thing I want to, well, I'm going to pause it real quick. The one thing I do want to say is, on that first pull, you want to make sure that you don't blow your entire load on it, right? So I called for Warrior CDs and Mage Bust and Boomkin's 3-minute. Okay, so Boomkin still has Convoke for this next pack, and Mage should have Combust up about midway through. So, because you do one big pull directly into another, so you don't want to go into this pull with nothing. Which is also why I saved meta. So he's going to have trees up again. I'm going to have him trees on pull, I'm pretty sure. Don't tell me I overlap meta with it as well. Okay, I don't. That's good. He beams. It's really good. I should silence after. I have him root the raptor because the raptor puts a nasty dot on me. So the raptor will come in late. There's trees. Meta's going to fall here in a minute. Still a little early on trees. Again, we want to make sure we don't overlap that because, like I said, I'm going to have to do some running here. If I would have timed the cooldowns right, I could sit in just a little bit longer. It looks like the mage has aggro on something. Don't know quite what. I'm going to try to get it back. My cheat does proc there. I don't really know to what. It was a really weird cheat proc. It shouldn't have procced. I wasn't in melee range, but I could have got clipped by something as well. But it was very weird. My group is not doing a good job at stopping these shadow cores. That's why I'm getting chunked. So we really need to stop the shadow cores because they hit me really hard. But all in all, not too bad of a pool. Little things that could be cleaned up, but not too bad of a pool. Like I said, we should keep it moving. So we get really trolled by this mask. It does something I've never seen it do before. It just instant starts casting rage. We're kind of freaking out a little bit because we haven't seen it. We do get the stun off after the rage cast, which means he shouldn't cast another rage. But guess what? He casts another rage. So now we're in a lot of trouble. Our healer doesn't really have a lot of cooldowns here. We do wind up living, but the problem is now he's gonna do a mask into another rage. This is our big here, right? So we have nothing to live. We have nothing to live here. Our mage does bust to try to salvage, but it's too late. We have nothing to live. We just start dying, and it's situations like that in higher keys. You know, when you get like a dungeon bug or something happens with an ad that's not supposed to happen, you just got to keep it moving. I mean, we were a little tilted that we did get, you know, a little trolled by that ad, but as you see, we just release and we instantly start running back. And we get back here and we kill it with no urine or no nothing. So just always remember in situations like that, you definitely want to just, you know, take it in stride. Stuff like that happens. It's out of your control. There's nothing that you can do there. And yeah, you just keep it moving. So we get right back to it. And then he shockingly enough, we pull him the second time. He does what he's supposed to do. You know, who knows? So here's a rage. You can micro CC these masks, these little masks, and it will help get them out of the way. Any CC will work, the DB, anything. So it does get a little dicey here, but when the ad does what it's supposed to do, you know, you should be fine, right? Like, this is what he was supposed to do originally, and wow, looky there. So you just gotta take little stuff like that in stride. This pull's kind of nasty because it puts that stacking poison on you. I do meta for this, and we overlap trees again. This is just something I've already talked to my Boomy about, that we need to do a little better coordination of not overlapping mine with his. I actually say it in the video, but say it as soon as we go trees out. I usually call for, I've been telling him to trees on pool, and it's just my bad habit of wanting to press my buttons as well. So little personal play, little cleanups there, and will really help you out in higher keys. It's something I need to work on. We got Ashen for this Pride, and Warrior CDs for this Pride. So we're kind of holding everything else because we have a mask pool right after this. So this is something that I like to do on fortified weeks. I go mask into Pride, or into that small Raptor pool, into Pride, into another mask, because we don't really have a urine or anything for that mask on on the route that I made. So we just take this Pride straight into mask. Because of that wipe, our pathing isn't super great, so we do lose a little bit of uptime on Pride because of that wipe on the first mask. But it's not awful. It's not absolutely awful. So as you see, we lose about 10 seconds of Pride. If he was where he's supposed to, we would only lose maybe like 5 seconds. We lost about almost lost about like 20 seconds of Pride. So, but this mask is gonna die very quickly here. There's a rage. I shake my camera entirely too much. Just what I do, I don't know why. And we're chilling. This next pack, these warlords are just really shitty, man, on higher keys and Fort Weeks. They just hit so hard. So again, here we overlap trees and fell dev, which results in me dying in a second, because I don't really have any buttons. So I'm already starting to run because I already know we messed up. And I leap. I leap again. And I messed up and actually kind of came back in when I still don't have any buttons to get some damage off. And I have one leap. And then enrage here in a second. Yep, see? There's that. Now I have no leaps. No way to get away. And I'm just going to get clipped right here. Boop. And then he takes out... They do get the B-res off before my druid gets clapped here. And we do salvage. We do have 3 deaths. We do salvage. But it's just a big time loss. Time loss on my part for not timing my cooldowns properly. If I time trees with fell dev properly, that pull's not near as scary. But as you can see, we're still just moving along. We have them release, and I'm tanking this guy a little bit because it's just one of them. He still hits really hard, but I'm taking him a little bit, waiting for my DPS to catch up. And now he's raged. I'm running, and we're just moving back to the Hakar room. Constantly moving. Stagnant time is bad time. So we go into the Kahar room. This is a route, again, I made this route. A lot of the higher key routes that a lot of the high key pushers are doing, they have a rogue so it's a lot easier to do some of the skips that they do. We don't have a rogue in our group, so we kind of have to work around what we got. So we do pull the majority of this car room. I'm calling for stops on these devoted here. I really need to turn my dialogue off. So this should be DB next. Yep. And fear, if that one goes off. It doesn't look like it goes. Okay. I shake my camera entirely too much. Holy crap. I need to work on that as well. Okay, this next pull is kind of nasty, so we have bust up for it though, so I go in and meta. We don't overlap trees here, which is good. It is something that we kind of worked on mid-dungeon. The hex goes off on our healer, which is kind of bad. I'm running here. That clips both of us. See, there's trees. And I have Feldev coming back up as well. Here we go, Feldev. And now it's just clean up. I do have that bleed. I think my cheap procs here again. I don't have Kyrian Vial up. My Kyrian Vial likes to bug as well, which is really troll. Oh, my cheat doesn't proc. Nice. So it's really important. You want to stop these devoted. You just want to call out your stops and you don't overlap your stops. So my fear first always. And then it is DB. Yep. And then warrior fear. But they're dead. So we're chilling. One thing you'll notice is you'll see the Vitality Sacrifice thing here. I run Vitality Sacrifice. I run a healing build. It's just something that I worked out personally and I kind of came up with personally. I did see some higher tanks talk about it just so I can sit in packs a little longer. Yeah, we overlap kicks there. But that's what that little weak aura you see pop up there is when I have a Vite proc. So very standard. I mean, I say very standard. This is a pool. I missed one with my silence. That's tragic. So we get them over here. We have my druid done. Now this pool is really important when you do the mask and the pride and the mask. These things have to die together. Now you can kill one, and we usually try to focus priest, just because he casts the heal. So yeah, right there. We usually like to focus priest. And then once the priest is dead, we really need to... You want to cleave. This is where my cheat procs, because my vial is still on cooldown. Because if you don't, this is not perfect count. So you get pride directly after this. Yeah, there's my cheat. And a hex goes off on our healer again, which is really bad. My group needs to do a better job of getting stops when I'm kiting. Because I have wipe. If any of these guys are still up when pride spawns, it is just tragic. But my group does a really good job at cleave damage here. Look at that. Look at that. That's pretty. You like to see stuff like that. Yeah, they did a really good job on that. We got Ashen and Warrior CDs here for this pride. I'm bad. Got stunned. And then we take pride into Hakar. So with Hakar, everyone likes to lush right on jump with pride. This boss gets really nasty at the end, and a lot of people make the mistake of lusting, blowing everything, and then when this boss gets really nasty later on in the fight, more ads start to spawn, and everyone has already blown their load at the beginning, and we don't really have anything for it. So I call for no lust until it's really the second blood barrier, but we're absolutely demolishing this boss. So I just call for lust now. Any second, mage should lust. Yep, there it is. And then it just makes this fight so much easier because now we have about 15-20 seconds of pride and lust, and then a lust going into all this ad phase, which is really what you want, because the ads are what get nasty, because we just don't have anything. We're still just getting clapped by this arcade, man. This stuff just hits so hard. See, these ads just spawn like crazy, so having lust up still for it is just, it's so vital. Hit them with the execute here, bang, and we're out. Even with our 8 deaths and stuff, it did put us about 2 minutes behind schedule of what you really want to be. But my group is doing a really good job of just literally just taking that in stride and keep going throughout the dungeon. We're rocking and rolling here. Now we're off to the Mechagon room. This is where a lot of high key pusher groups skip this room. It's really easy for them to skip this room if you have a rogue. If you have a rogue and a druid, then you can literally just shroud roar, and you could pretty much skip the most of the Mechagon room. Because the Mechagon room is just really inefficient. It's just you can't pull super big in here, and it just makes it to where it's kind of a time loss. But I do what I can, and I double pull these two. Pull him straight to the corner. Don't mind my POV. All right, we're lining haywire here. He trees is out there as well to keep that guy from coming back here, which is really good. Bring him in. Tank POV, you love to see it. Just adds in your face. We're lining haywire. So now we're going to single pull this dog while we wait for mage bust. And then as soon as mage has bust up, we are going to pull this dog into those spinny boys. I'm really glad this dog got nerfed, because I tell you what, those metallic jaws hurt. Okay, he's got bust. I'm going to go ahead and meta. Silence, aggro and everything. And he trees this right here, which again is something that we did a lot in this dungeon that we talked about after, that we were just overlapping that entirely too much. But this is like the most efficient way to do this room. It's really scary and it's really nasty. But if you don't have a rogue, you really need to, to chain pull some of this stuff in together. It's just killing everything by itself is it's very inefficient, and you lose a lot of time. That's why a lot of people skip this room. I'm trying to line those discharge casts. So this next pull is what I call a rest pull. So I'm just pulling a single thing here. We don't really have a lot of cooldowns. I don't really have a lot of cooldowns. So we just pull this driller here just to reset some cooldowns. I got knocked up by a volcanic there during a haywire cast. I almost died there because I... I fell dead before the hair wire, which is really troll. Shouldn't have did that. Could have fell dead now. Okay. Same thing here. So we take this one lubricator. We're also waiting for Pally Ashen Hollow because we do have a nasty pull and then Pride after. So we're kind of buying time for that as well. But we killed this one lubricator and then I stopped the belt and then we skipped the other two. Those are just so inefficient and you really can't pull them together because it's just they're really nasty. Oh, we don't get a kick on that. That's about a 10-second time loss right there. Really important on stuff like this is you really want to make sure that you're calling kicks and you're calling stops. That took entirely too long to kill. We're going to stop this, and this is where we go ahead and just invis pot skip here. I don't like to keep invis pots on my bar just so I don't fat finger it or anything like that. Put it on cooldown, especially when I need it. This next pull is really, really, really nasty with these oils here. You really have to line up all your stops. So it's going to be my sigil first. And then my boomkin's going to take care of the next three. He's going to beam. We overlap DB there. He's going to Typhoon. My Pally go ahead and Ashens as well. Then more Stomp. And then it's all personals here. Some of these do get off. Oh, I get a Fear off. That's really good. Good DB. Yeah, that's a very nasty pull. And we still have about 15 seconds of Ashen left as well for this Pride. But this probably does get a tad dicey because we don't really have cooldowns for it, which is not good. But we had about 15-20 seconds of Ashen left, which has really kind of pushed us through that Pride. Got really good timing on this as well. And into Mail House and Maleficent Mana Storm. These guys still truck, man. Non-fortify weak, these guys still hurt. I get stunned there because I'm bad. There's a stun. Now Maleficent comes out. Excuse me. I take her to the side so all the bombs go out behind her. Just makes it easier for the group to get them and they're not going all over the place. I do Vial there. Get some of those bleeds off. We're actually kind of ahead on schedule when it comes to lust timing. We actually don't even lust this boss. I meta because she still trucks with those bleeds. Here comes Rockets. Our mage almost dies. Got the wombo combo of the stun and the rockets. But he had a really good block. Good job. And now it's just clean up. I don't even take her to the side, I don't think. I just kind of tank her here because she doesn't have a lot of health left, so we're just finishing up here. Look at that bleed. That bleed just hurts so much. That buzzsaw, look at that. Just truck. So since we have lust, we just go ahead and lust this pool right outside the art mode room just to get a lust off. There's no reason just to sit on a lust because we're not gonna get into the third boss, and we should have lust up for him if you lust right now. So you always want to just, if it's up, just use it. If you know you're gonna have time for another one, just use it. Never let a lust sit on cooldown. You never want to miss a lust. So this is me grouping. Okay. My Boomy does it a tad early here. So as you can see, they're not super grouped up, but he does trees, which is good to get them nice and grouped up in that flame patch. Really what you want. A little bit of kiting here because I don't really have cooldowns. A trinket there. Now it's just clean up. I'm getting smashed by the shadow cores over there. He almost procs, which would have been really sad because we have some really big pulls coming up. The time's not the hottest right now. We don't. You really want to get into Arterial room as fast as you can, especially with the route I made. Like again, you really want to make a route per your group. As a tank, you really have your routes are going to differ for whatever group you're running with, right? So if you're running with a rogue and you're running with certain classes that you can do certain things with, you really want to make a route accordingly, right? So I made this route specifically for my group and what we're able to do when it comes to skips and stuff like that. So this is a nice big pool here. I have a lot of buttons for this. I shake my camera entirely too much. Bell dev off here. Really want to try to sit in as long as possible. Your flame patches. Looks like I'm lagging. It's really troll. Lagging on big pulls is the worst. Just trying to kite the best I can here. Try to run them through the flame patches. Now it's all trickle here. I think I call for a stop DPS soon. That's 5 stack. Want to call for a stop. Boom, stacks fall. Clean it up. There you go. This next pull, I missed the timing on a little bit. Really, we want all this and those. I get it. My cheap procs here. Oh no, he trees, which is good. We body pulled that, which is not good. Don't really have cooldowns. This was supposed to be a just a pull to reset the cooldowns. Didn't really have anything, so I slowly start getting stuff back. Go ahead and fell dev here. This is pride after. This pull wasn't really supposed to be that big because we really wanted to set some cooldowns. So we have this. We're gonna have to use stuff. And then we have pride right after, so So doing the best you can just to kite it out and run them through all the flame patches that your mage puts down. It's really what you want to do. All the flame patches as much as you can. I misclicked and double leap there, which is really bad because now I don't have a leap to get away. My cheat's going to proc here 100%. Yep, there it is. We do get 6 stacks there. Our mage blocks, which is really good to help our healer out. This is what happens when you pull a little too much and you don't have CDs. Things get really messy. And you know what I mean? So you really want to be careful that you don't do that. We have Ashen, which is really good. That's what gets us through this pride. We don't have any cooldowns. We have no... I think Boomy has Convoke. I'm not 100% sure. It looks like he does not. He did not Convoke there. Okay. So we didn't really have any cooldowns for this. So Ashen was a necessity. We have Warrior CDs because Warrior CDs are really short, but we should really want to be careful and mind your group's cooldowns. Looks like I'm lagging again. And your cooldowns as well when you're doing pulls. All right, so now I have Meta, I have Trinket for this next big urine pool. Yep, kind of. It looks like my warrior was in the back right there, which kind of fucked our timing a little bit on them coming around. You want everyone to be on the other side, on the inside of that pillar, so all these blade beaks come in. Good trees there. Fought first stop DPS. We don't roll. And just clean up. Really, really clean pool. The next thing is I always go down here and we stun kill this hatchling because it does a cry that makes the matriarch come, and the matriarch has a lot of health and just kind of trucks you. So we stun that. I don't get aggro on those guys. I have to try to get aggro on everything. It's still alive. Good DB there. That fear was kind of troll because that fear can body pull other stuff, and it does. Gets a blade beak. So not the end of the world, but you really want to be careful on that because it could have easily like feared into that matriarch or something. So I don't really have buttons here, so I'm kind of scared. Almost died there. Vitality sacrifice coming in clutch there. Those silences will really troll. So this is what happened. It's a little messy. More things got pulled than they should have. The fear pulled. We body pulled some stuff on the hatchling pull as well. But things are not near as grouped up as they should be. I fell dev in like 3 seconds. You go ahead and fell dev here. Yep, right there. Now we're hard chilling. Now it's just clean up and trickle. We roll at the very end here, which is really troll. Our warrior kind of lets that roll, which is not good. Like literally almost killed us. I'm waiting for this blade beak. You gotta be really careful with doing this. Body pulling's the best, because if you don't, you can pull that matriarch, which you really don't want. I have meta coming up soon, so I just pull these 3 until meta's up, and then I pull the rest of the dungeon here. So we're just chilling. Making sure you jump so you don't take a nap. Okay, meta's up in 18. I have Brand, I have Feldev. So just go ahead. Go ahead and Brand, Feldev. Mage busts. Got aggro, sweet trees. I don't know why he had aggro, but he got aggro. Those are good trees there. Save our mage. Got bopped as well, so he definitely would have lived. Still got aggro on that rune carver. I'm asleep because I'm trying to get aggro. Really bad on my part. Almost died because of that. I'm a Kite Lord, boys. It is what it is. Okay, once these bursting stacks fall, I'm pretty sure I go down and I get the invisible 3. Yep. Go down here and we get the last packs that we need. Yeah, I really wanted to pull these initially with that pack and bust, but things kind of got janky and didn't wind up doing that, so we have to kill these 3 by themselves. I completely whiffed my decree there. Now it's just cleanup here. Our time is not super great. We definitely wanted a little more time going into this last boss. It's time's not bad. We have plenty of time to time the dungeon still. It just, you know, having a little cushion is always nice. So you're not rushed. Anytime you feel rushed, you know, that's when mistakes happen. So we go ahead and ash in here as well. And mage bust. So you always want to make sure you have Boomy CDs for boss. That's what makes Boomy so great, is they light bosses up. And you want mage bust on prides. And it's reversed if you have a big trash pack coming up. You always want to have bust for big trash pack. And we go in and we lust it up. Now, me and the warrior eat a lot of stacks on these of the lightning. I got trolled and ate a trap there. As the tank, you always want to try to take as many stacks as you can, especially with this, especially as a demon hunter. You already have such good magic mitigation. So you want to try to take as many of those stacks as possible. So here we go. I have it. Our pally just bubbles there. As you can see, our boomkin is just standing up top. He's not coming down at all. Because that's the good thing about our group is, like, when you have a warrior, he can spell reflect a lot of this stuff as well, which is really good. That's why our boomkin stays up there. There's no need for him to come down here and take unnecessary damage that our healer has to heal. Spell dev to finish it off. And we're out. So you want you always want more than 3 minutes. If your timers are close on the other side in any dungeon, you always want to get to Muzala with 3 minutes or more. Anything less than that on higher keys you're gonna cut it close, and by close I mean seconds. So we have about, by the time we get to the boss, we'll have 5 minutes. 5 minutes to kill Muzala. 8 death run. Not we had a really troll mask bug which wiped us, and then just poor play on my end with the warlords. There's a lot of things. I'm gonna do a lot more of these reviews of these dungeons, not only to help anybody who, you know, is watching all the high key pushers and understanding that those guys have, you know, they have all the top tier classes, right? Which I'm playing with all the top tier classes as well, right? But, you know, they have the option of, okay, well, let's switch to a Disc Priest for this dungeon or a Blood Decay for this dungeon. You know, that's what they have. So you always want to try to make routes for whatever group you have. It's really hard to find groups to push high keys with, you know, good groups. So as a tank, you really want to make sure that you're making routes for your specific group. And it just helps to go over these dungeons. It's always like watching them back as well and going over and calling them out, because I can see where I messed up and what I can improve on. And you always want to be improving. Find things that you can do better, the time save in these keys, because that's what it's all about, boys. It's all about the time. I get clapped there because I'm bad and got a Master of Death debuff on me. I don't know when, but it looks like I got one on me. I run the quantum device for this dungeon specifically as well for these guys right here. For the tank healer one, the higher keys you get, the harder it is to kill these guys. The tank and the healer, it's very difficult to kill them. So that box works as an execute, as you can see right here. I'm about to clap this guy. Boop. Dead. Now, another problem people make is they're like, oh, yeah, we did it. The dungeon's over. You still have a lot of fight left after this. So you just want to get in here. You want to make sure you're still doing mechanics. You're doing everything you're supposed to do. Because you do not want... The last thing you want is to get to this stage of a good run and have a blunder and mess up and wipe on the last boss. Especially the last part of the last boss. We have 4% left here. It's still just do mechanics. Mechanics. Just calling out for your group here which way to go, just to make sure they know. We're gonna go back here. So another thing for tanks is after he casts that, don't go right back in, because he'll cast the next Soul Crusher. He won't cast the Soul Crusher directly after that. So you want to wait until he casts the Cosmic, and then you can go back in. You won't get double Soul Crusher. Like that, and that's the key. And that's it. So yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in to my little dungeon review there. I'm going to be doing a lot more of those. I'll probably do our Necrotic next. And we timed a really good Necrotic there as well. So we'll do the Necrotic next. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Peace.